"That's it, Michael," she said, her voice shaking with emotion. "I've had enough of your constant criticism and belittling. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not good enough for you." Amara gazed at her reflection in the mirror, her eyes tracing the curves of her figure. She was a stunning woman, with porcelain skin, raven black hair, and a smile that could light up a room. Her husband, Michael, always told her she was a goddess, and she believed him. She was a successful model and social media influencer, with a following that hung on her every post. But as she turned 30, Amara felt the pressure to maintain her perfect image. She spent hours at the gym, honing her physique, and meticulous hours in front of the mirror, ensuring every hair was in place. She was a devoted wife and soon-to-be mother, and she wanted to be perfect for her family. 6 months later, Amara gave birth. Her world revolved around her baby boy, Jack. She had never felt such unconditional love and devotion. She spent hours gazing into his eyes, watching him sleep, and cherishing every moment. Michael was distant, but Sophia didn't mind. She was too enthralled with motherhood. As Jack grew, Amara marveled at his tiny fingers and toes, his first smiles, and his giggles. She was a natural mother, and her social media followers adored her parenting tips and baby pictures. But amidst the joy, Amara's body underwent significant changes. Her once flat stomach was now soft and rounded, her breasts were fuller, and her hair lost its luster. Michael's comments began as gentle teasing, but gradually turned into hurtful jabs. "You're not as hot as you used to be, Amara. Your body's not bouncing back like I thought it would." Amara brushed it off, thinking he was just stressed or tired. But the words seeped into her mind, making her feel self-conscious and insecure. Amara tried to ignore Michael's comments, but they lingered in her mind, making her feel like a failed wife and mother. She began to doubt her self-worth, wondering if she was still attractive and desirable. She started to dress more modestly, covering her post-pregnancy body, and avoided intimate moments with Michael, fearing rejection. One evening, as they prepared for bed, Michael gazed at Amara with a critical eye. "You know, Amara, you really need to work on getting your body back. You're not the same woman I married," he said, his tone condescending and laced with disdain. Amara felt a stinging sensation, as if he had slapped her. Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes, but she refused to cry. Instead, she pulled the covers tight and turned away, feeling like a failure. Michael's gaze lingered on Amara's body, making her feel objectified and uncomfortable. She tried to defend herself, her voice shaking with emotion. "I'm still the same woman you married, Michael. I'm just a mother now, and my body has changed. But that doesn't mean I'm any less desirable or worthy of love." Michael snorted, his expression dismissive. "You're not the same woman, Amara. You're not as attractive or as sexy as you used to be. And it's hard to love someone who doesn't take care of themselves." Amara felt a surge of anger and hurt, her emotions boiling over. "You're not even trying to understand me, Michael. You're just criticizing me and making me feel like a failure. I'm trying my best as a mother and a wife, but it's never good enough for you, is it?" Michael raised his voice, his words cutting deep. "You're not trying hard enough, Amara. You're not living up to your potential. And if you don't shape up, I'm not sure I want to be married to you anymore." The argument ended with Amara in tears, feeling belittled and small. She realized that Michael's disapproval was not just about her body, but about her worth as a person. She felt trapped in a toxic relationship, unsure of how to escape. Amara couldn't take it anymore. She felt like she was living in a constant state of anxiety, never knowing when Michael's criticism would strike again. She began to feel like she was walking on eggshells, tiptoeing around his moods and trying to avoid his wrath. One evening, as they were having dinner, Michael made a comment about Amara's cooking. "This is disgusting," he said, pushing the plate away. Can't you do anything right? Something inside Amara snapped. She felt a surge of anger and frustration, and she knew she couldn't keep quiet anymore. "That's it, Michael," she said, her voice shaking with emotion. "I've had enough of your constant criticism and belittling. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not good enough for you." Michael looked at her, surprised, but Amara didn't back down. "I'm tired of feeling like I'm walking on eggshells around you," she continued. "I'm tired of feeling like I'm not a good enough mother, wife, or person. I deserve better than this, and so does our son." Michael sneered at her, but Amara stood her ground. "I'm not going to take it anymore," she said. "I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to fight for my own happiness." And with that, Amara turned and walked away, leaving Michael staring after her in shock. Amara felt a sense of liberation wash over her as she walked away from Michael's belittling words. She realized that she had been living in a state of constant fear and anxiety, always trying to please Michael and avoid his wrath. But in that moment, she knew that she couldn't continue down that path. Over the next few days, Amara began to reflect on her relationship with Michael. She realized that his constant criticism and belittling had eroded her self-esteem and confidence. She felt like she was living in a prison, trapped by Michael's toxic behavior. But as she thought about her situation, Amara began to feel a sense of anger and determination. She realized that she didn't have to accept Michael's behavior and that she deserved better. She began to see that she had the power to change her situation and create a better life for herself and her son. Amara started small, taking tiny steps towards asserting her independence and standing up for herself. She began to set boundaries with Michael, telling him that his behavior was no longer acceptable. She started to pursue her own interests and hobbies, finding joy and fulfillment in activities that she had previously put on hold. As Amara grew stronger and more confident, she began to see that she had the power to create the life she wanted. She realized that she didn't need Michael's approval or validation to be happy and fulfilled. And with that knowledge, she began to make plans for a new future, one that was free from toxic relationships and full of hope and possibility. Amara's newfound confidence and independence led her to pursue a hobby she had always loved: painting. She enrolled in a local art class, and it was there that she met him, Alex, a kind and talented artist. At first, Amara was hesitant to trust anyone new, especially after the toxic relationship she had just left. But there was something about Alex that drew her in: his warm smile, his gentle eyes, and his passion for life. As they spent more time together, Amara found herself feeling alive again. Alex encouraged her to pursue her dreams, to take risks, and to believe in herself. He saw the beauty in her paintings and the beauty in her soul. Amara couldn't help but fall for Alex's charms. She felt like she had found a kindred spirit, someone who understood her and accepted her for who she was. And as they stood together, holding hands and watching the sunset, Amara knew that she had found her soulmate. Alex was patient and gentle, allowing Amara to heal and grow at her own pace. He never pressured her or tried to change her. He simply loved her for who she was, and Amara felt like she had finally found her home. As they navigated their new relationship, Amara realized that she had been living in a state of constant fear and anxiety with Michael. She had been walking on eggshells, never knowing when he would strike. But with Alex, she felt safe and loved. She felt like she could finally breathe again. Amara and Alex's relationship continued to blossom, and they found themselves lost in each other's eyes. They spent countless hours exploring the city, trying new restaurants and laughing together. As they sat on a park bench, watching the sunset, Alex turned to Amara and said, "I love you." Amara's heart skipped a beat, and she replied, "I love you too." They shared a tender kiss, and Amara felt like she was home. Alex encouraged Amara to pursue her passion for painting, and she started selling her artwork at local galleries. She felt proud of herself and her accomplishments, and Alex was always there to celebrate with her. She felt seen, heard, and loved. She felt like she could finally be herself without fear of judgment or rejection. As they approached their one-year anniversary, Alex took Amara on a surprise trip to Paris. They strolled along the Seine, holding hands, and Amara felt like she was living a dream. Alex proposed to her at the Eiffel Tower, and Amara said yes, tears of joy streaming down her face. The moral of the story is that it's never too late to break free from toxic relationships and find happiness and fulfillment. Amara's journey shows that with courage, self-discovery, and support, we can overcome past traumas and build a new life filled with love, joy, and purpose.